This has been a very highly requested video. This is about the sex industry, the adult entertainment industry, the porn industry. To me, it's all the same thing, just different facets. So I hope this video reaches all the girls thinking of entering this industry. Those who have reached out to me asking me if it's a good idea or if I can connect them with anybody in the industry, my answer has always been no, for very good reason. This video will help clarify those reasons. Porn and a lot of the sex industry is very glamorized, especially on screens, especially to very impressionable, naive young girls. Although it does tend to leave an impression on even older women who maybe have an insecurity or don't feel as desired or etc. The industry tends to try to put out a narrative that people on screen are willingly having great sex and making a lot of money, and the viewers are also enjoying this as well, and it's all good and it's all fantastic. It's not. And I think a lot of people have already spoken out on the effects on the viewer and the psychological damage it can cause and the personal consequences of that person, of the viewer in their own personal or interpersonal life. There's not enough speaking out happening about this industry from those who have been in it. Don't get me wrong, some have come forward, some are actually really big stars. They've come forward, they've tried speaking out. I just feel like it's still not enough, especially when most of the world is very ignorant to what happens in this industry. We're gonna start very, very light. We're gonna start with these three: pressure, manipulation, and grooming. They tend to start off a lot nicer to you. They make it appear as if they're going to respect your boundaries and what you're saying you are and are not willing to do and what you're comfortable and not comfortable doing. This is just to warm you up. It's not because they actually respect you. The thing that you end up learning as you start to enter and go into this industry or down this path is that you are no longer around anyone who actually thinks you're a person. You are not a person, especially if you're a woman. You are not a person. You are now an object. You are an object of sexual desire, of sexual use, and of monetary gain, mostly on their end. You are a workhorse. You are groomed into thinking that this is not just okay, this is somehow great. They do start off light. In most cases, everybody seems very nice, respectful, and the whole nine. They start to push up on your boundaries and groom you and then manipulate you and tell you also things like, this is more pressure. They will make it seem like you will not continue to be booked if you don't start opening up what you are and are not okay with. In other words, your boundaries are not something to be honored, they're something to be negotiated and pressured on. Now, if at this point you haven't already turned around and ran the other way and went to another industry, let's get a little spicier. A little spicy list here of, it's a mix of things that both I and other stars have been through. And then some of these things I've seen them go through, but I did not personally go through it. Most of it I have. You're violated a lot, harassed, and not just from the producers and the companies. I'm talking about fans too. There are insane people out there who are completely mentally lost and think it's okay to follow you to your house or harass you personally. I also experienced that. You're not a person to anyone anymore. You're just some piece of meat and you're a workhorse. You're not this honored human being or anything like that. I'm not saying that because I believe that. If you see my YouTube videos, you see that's not me. I'm stating this because this is how they see you. There's just no negotiating that. Let's continue. Rape. Okay. Now, when it comes to the case of rape, have I seen other girls experience that in the industry? Absolutely. Did I experience that in the industry? No. Have I experienced rape? Yes, but not in the industry. I just want to be clear. I want to clarify that. The rape that I experienced was as a child. It was not in the adult industry. There's also assault, and you're also demeaned. Again, They don't give a fuck about you. Nothing glamorous about that. Sex trafficking. Do I really have to go into that? Of course there's sex trafficking, even in porn. Some of the ladies on screen are being sex trafficked. Yes. And they are being forced to do these things. They're being threatened and drugged. Yes. Two was sex trafficked. Self-harm, drug use, and suicide. Boy, oh boy. I want to first say this. I was already self-harming before going into the sex industry. For me, I started at 12 years old. I started cutting up my arms. I actually had to stop doing that when I got into the industry because I'm on camera, butt naked. There's no hiding it. I didn't want that on screen. Are there sex workers and stars self-harming? Absolutely. Again, I've seen it. I've known them. Drug use. Yes, there's heavy drug use, even drugging other people. This is across all of the sex industry, period. I don't care if you're a stripper, a night sex worker at a casino. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you're on screen as a star. There is avid drug use and drug abuse, and there's drugging of other people to harm them or worse. For the suicides, some of them are from the overdose, whether it's intentional or not. And some of them are just straight up suicides where it is fully intentional. They don't see a way out of this, that life. And so they would rather die than to continue to live in that life because it's that horrible. I also want to throw this in there. The average life expectancy of a sex worker is 37. The normal life expectancy is like 78. So that speaks volumes. Their life is cut in half. In fact, I've seen girls actually get killed in front of me. There are people, and this one blew my mind when I saw this and went through this. There are people, mainly men, who hate women. They hate women. And they go to the actual strip clubs or wherever, and they lure the girls in. They play the role of a client, and they take you somewhere unknown. For me, they attempted to take me to Okeechobee in the middle of fucking nowhere, on a dirt road at 3 a.m. in the middle of fucking nowhere, and tried to rape me and kill me. Those same two Cuban men in Miami, they killed the other girl that worked at the same strip club that I was working at. They sliced her throat after raping her. Are serial rapists and killers. In more dangerous situations in that industry alone than I did my whole childhood. And I wouldn't say my childhood was spick and span. Okay. Abuse of any and all kind. Matter of fact, they tried to hire me for this and I thought they were insane. LatinaAbuse.com. This is insane. This is it's insane what people crave sexually. Literal abuse and demeaning of women turns on people. Torture scenes. I think I did like 2 in California. 3 if I'm remembering right, but I'm gonna say 2. Literal torture devices from like way back whatever the fuck. And me being almost stretched to fucking whatever. I don't know. And adding to the point, ethical porn, which is a more realistic, healthy sexual life type of vibe, fully consenting, fully present, fully autonomous, and respected individuals having sex, they consider that boring. To give you an idea of just how toxic that entire industry is. Oh, and if you speak out, like I started to, even when I was in the industry, if you speak out, you are what's called blacklisted. While I was in the industry and I still had scenes lined up and all this, I had already did a few scenes with even, for example, blacked.com, okay? I think I forgot the producer's name. I remember how he looks like. He had glasses too at the time. I don't know if his name was Greg. I don't know. He was like the main guy. He's the one who ran the show. always called my agent wanting to book me. She's fantastic. She's authentic, beautiful, the whole nine, you name it. Everything that you all also say you love about me and my films. And then I started having interviews. You guys know me, I like to share all my life experiences and perspectives and blah, blah, blah. I think that's not embraced in the sex industry where women are just a pile of meat. As in the industry, I was doing these interviews and I started speaking out on that, and I started saying things that are actually happening in the industry, things that we were not supposed to say. And all of a sudden, I think my agent goes to follow up with that guy, and he all of a sudden is like, nah, I don't ever want to work with her ever again. You know what? She wasn't even that great. And then they start they start demeaning you to everybody. And basically now all of a sudden, where clearly your work is a masterpiece, you're shit because to them, you are willing to speak out. That's why in a lot of cases, a lot of the things that people, but especially women, a lot of the things they go through in the industry, they don't say anything because they don't want to be blacklisted. They want to affect their careers, or worse, they don't want any trouble with whoever may be threatening them or forcing them. So the girls, again, who asked me about going into this industry and I said no, after everything I just named, I would think you're like, oh, hell no, I'll do something else. But if that was not convincing enough, there's another list. A list of what's affected after the industry, okay? Your dating life is affected during and after. Also, your family life will be affected. My family, even my own mom, didn't really want to be around me. She didn't want me even to come around too much around my sister because of what I was doing. Intimate life it will be affected both in the industry and after, as well as you personally. Whatever you end up going through in the industry will have an effect on you. Say you made it out and you got a healthy family and you're thriving and you're this and you're that. I did very deep, intense inner work, and I still am, because it's just what I do. I have all of that in my other videos. I explain what I do, where my mind goes, how I process things, how I self-reflect. Inner growth is a big thing for me. I have a certain mindset that just will not ever dim my light whatsoever. That's even after going through all that. And then some, because I also was going through a lot of other dark shit during all this already happening. I still carry some of the effects, absolutely. I had to do a lot of looking in the mirror and self-reflection and inner work to realize that a lot of the things that I was holding on to that was affecting me was never mine to carry in the first place. I might have went into this in another video about how I carried the shame of other people because I never had sexual shame in that way. I was carrying other people's shame that they were trying to project onto me. I dealt with that for years. So I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for me. I am a creator of my life, powerful creator at that. I have a strength in me that is absolutely undeniable. Everything I have today, I built through very, very hard inner and outer work. Fortunately, I can't say the same for a lot of the women that I knew in that industry. Some I know are completely fucking brainwashed, where they don't know their ass cheek from their left foot, completely drugged up and manipulated. Some are dead. A lot of them have sacrificed other aspects of their life for that. See it all over the face. They didn't do that because they wanted to. They did it because no one told them any of this before they got too deep and too far to turn back. If you're out there and you're thinking of doing this industry, I'm telling you right now, do not do it. As for me, it's like I never forgot deep down, although when I was walking that path, I had to hide it because everyone around you just feels like a fucking demon. You are just dehumanized to the 10th motherfucking power. So I had to hide my soul and who I am and protect it. Whatever the fuck I had to do to survive these dark ass situations that I went through. So I always knew deep down inside who the fuck I really am. The amount of dehumanizing people in that industry is astounding. It is astounding and it's disgusting. It's so bad. Nobody has any respect for anybody. There is no respect. It's absent. Any perceived respect is actually manipulation and grooming. That bad. I was going through my camera roll not too long ago, trying to find some picture or whatever, and I ran into one of the pictures that I took. It was like a selfie in the locker room of a strip club that me and this girl were working at, and she was such a sweet girl. She was, and so many dark sides of people in that industry that when you see the glimmer of the genuine soul in somebody, it's like, you know. So me and her, we were pretty close at that time. She died. Like, I got the call that she died when I got out and got away. She died. To the girls who I said, who thought about entering this industry, and I said, don't do it, and I'm telling you, you wouldn't even make it out. I don't mean that in a way like you ain't shit. I mean it because I see how much they would prey on you and how much you're not going to have a chance. Especially if you don't have true street smarts and a sense of really actually standing up for yourself and holding true to your boundaries no matter what. I said this to my sister even. Like, there's no way. You'd end up dead in like a year or two, if that. Whole glamorizing city girl, whatever. I don't mean city girl like a Sex in the City way. I mean like how they like to associate, like, you know, like city girl, like the but like in a hoodish way, in a, I don't know, like a street girl. The people that glamorize it are never the ones actually living it, because the ones living it understand there is nothing to glamorize about it. Every time I would talk with the girls in the industry when I was in it with them, there was no glamorizing this. There was no glamour. It's not glamour. It's not glamour. Being glamorous about being violated, harassed, raped, assaulted, demeaned, sex trafficked. There's nothing glamorous about self-harm, drug abuse, and suicide. There's nothing glamorous about being abused. There's nothing glamorous about being manipulated, used, groomed, and pressured. There's nothing glamorous about being treated less than the bare minimum of a human being. There's nothing glamorous about being treated as a piece of meat workhorse that people just stick themselves in and out of. There's nothing glamorous about that. There's nothing glamorous about losing your family life and your dating life and every other sense of area of your life. There's nothing glamorous about that. There's nothing glamorous about people treating you the way that they treat you in that industry. Surrounded by demons. Darkest aspect of humanity, period. It's a totally different reality. You don't even see reality like a normal everyday person. You can't. You're so surrounded by darkness that your sense of reality is completely different from the normal average person walking next to you. I've lived both sides, and I can tell you it's a huge difference in reality. Huge. So reality I have now is way over here, and the sense of reality I had in the industry is way over there. And there is no similarities. You don't even feel the same in living your life, and even towards yourself or about yourself. You don't feel the same. Anyways, we're nearing 20 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it here. But yeah, those were some of the things that, again, I have experienced all of this in the sex industry except rape. Again, my rape was when I was a kid. So outside of that, I have literally seen, felt, experienced, and have a million stories about the rest of these things. Okay, obviously, except suicide, I'm still here. My attempts for suicide were also right before the industry as well.